just a short video to bring you up to date on what I'm doing on the RAM of the shaper. When I put the aperture in at the back end here for the swinging pendulum that actuates the cross feed and moves the carriage across, I put a hole in here right on the center between the two dovetails. I came off the dovetails, not off the edge, and the reason for that is that the edge has flats on each side to clear the radius in the side, the dovetail on the carriage, and so I came off of this surface with a dial indicator and centralized this hole on the dovetails, not on the edge. What I did was I milled the section here down 1.140 deep, and that's for the two bolt holes that tapped holes that link onto the hand lever for moving the RAM back and forward. Now I have to remove a lot of metal here on both sides, and there's a dimension across here central with that hole again. And so what I did was, while I had it up on this, sitting facing up, while I had it sitting on this surface and this was facing up, I milled two witnesses for where the material has to be removed, right the way down to the dovetail on each side. So again, I came from the center line of this hole, and equally each side I removed material to give me a witness line, so that when I'm got it set up in this setup, I know exactly how deep I have to go. Once I touch on that surface there, down there, then I know that I've gone the right distance down, and I can remove the remaining metal on this side. Then I can turn it over again, and again, because I'm coming off this edge now in this setup, I would have been out, because there's the flat surface along the edge here, which is for clearance, is not equal on both sides, and there was a reason for that, and I won't go into that, but it wasn't necessary, so I didn't do it. So in coming off this hole and milling these two witness faces here, then I know exactly it's going to be on the center line of the hole, which is equally central on the surface of the dovetails. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've got it set up with a couple of little ground angle plates. They're odd things. They were actually punches in a die that were not correct. They weren't ground correct, but they are square. So I use these to get this face vertical. So that's what I'm actually doing now. and I don't know if these clamps are going to interfere. I don't think they will. I've just got to, I've got to come out here. I've got this face up against a wedge that fits tight in the T-slot. So when I push it up against that way, it squares everything up, makes it parallel with the x-axis. So I don't have to dial it in, but I will dial it in just to make sure that it's parallel with this surface here. So I'll put a dial indicator in the head and touch onto that surface there and wind it backwards and forwards just to make sure that there's no deviation and it's nice and parallel. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to wind this up here like this to these two areas here, and what I'll do, if I can manage it, I think I can. I'll just run that down. So we go across now. Make sure nothing's going to jam, and just put the that's that. I have a piece of paper. It's not, it doesn't have to be exactly equal on both sides. It's plus or minus probably 5 or 10 thou. Nobody's going to notice the difference. Okay, just wind that down till it touches. That's that. And just set my z-axis to 0, and now I can wind up. Not enough. Okay. And I'll just set that there approximately. I'll be able to measure from this face. I'll measure from I'll measure from this back face out and set the y-axis, and then I'll just plunge down until I reach a 0 on the z-axis. So that's that. I'm going to just point that down a little. Okay, and these single flute end mills with the inserts in from Banggood, they work really great. I mean, they're not ideal. 2 inserts would be better, but they do the job. And I actually, on this one here, after a while, if the insert gets blunt, you get kind of you can tell the difference in the sound. You get more of a banging noise as opposed to a nice smooth noise. And so I just take the insert out, and I've got a diamond grinder over there that I built, and I take the insert out and I just place it on the table, and just lightly touch it around the radius of the tip, and just clean it up a little bit and put it back in, and away I go again. So the inserts are so damn cheap that it's not even worth buying these carbide end mills. I was looking at one today, two flute 1/4 inch diameter with a 1-inch cutting depth, and they want $18, just over $18 US, and God knows what the shipping would cost. Probably just come in a envelope package, but you know, you're looking at one bloody end mill, you're looking at I don't know, 25, maybe $30, and you can buy 10 of these inserts, and cost you maybe $8, $12 maybe at the most, and you get a lot of life out of them, and you don't have to send them away to get them reground, you know. So yeah, they work good. Has that gone out? Oh no, yeah, it has now. There's something wrong with this. I bought this from Banggood, and I don't know what it is, but the batteries don't last 5 minutes, so but it only costs about $3, free shipping. So okay, I'm going to call off now because I've got to do a little bit more setting up before I start machining. Thanks for watching.